You say you want to be happy. You say you want peace, purpose, love, freedom. But if that's true, why do you keep running back to the same pain? You know what hurts you. You know what drains you. And yet you return again and again like a moth circling the same flame that keeps burning its wings. It's not stupidity. It's not weakness. It's comfort. Because the truth is, you've learned how to survive your unhappiness. But you have no idea how to survive peace. Most people don't realize this, but we don't fear misery. We fear change. The human mind will cling to a familiar pain before it risks an unfamiliar joy. Think about it. If you've spent years living in tension, chaos, or guilt, those emotions become home. They shape your rhythm, your expectations, your nervous system. So when life finally gets quiet, you panic. The silence feels wrong. The calm feels fake. You start sabotaging the very things you prayed for, because deep down, you've built an identity around your struggle. You don't know who you'd be without it. Carl Jung wrote, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." We think we're searching for happiness, but what we're really searching for is something that feels familiar enough to not scare us. And for many, unhappiness is the only thing that ever felt familiar. Ever wonder why people stay in toxic relationships? Why they sabotage opportunities? Why they keep repeating the same mistakes, even when they know better? It's because leaving the pain means leaving the version of yourself that survived it. That version of you might be wounded, but it's known, predictable, safe. And stepping into a happier life means killing that version and walking into the unknown naked. Machiavelli once wrote that there is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. He was talking about politics, but the same applies to your mind. Every time you try to change, your inner government revolts. Your habits, fears, and past experiences, they all fight to protect the old order, not because it's good, but because it's known. We tend to think addiction is about substances or behaviors, but the most powerful addiction in the world is to emotion. You've been addicted to adrenaline, the feeling of worry, urgency, survival. You've been addicted to self-pity, the strange comfort of being the victim. You've been addicted to anger because it gives you energy when you feel powerless. Your brain doesn't care about your happiness. It cares about what's predictable. So if chaos is what it knows, chaos is what it will seek again and again until you consciously break the cycle. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your mind doesn't heal by adding more positivity. It heals by learning to live without the drama that once defined it. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Man is afraid of himself." He believed most people don't want freedom. They want comfort, because freedom demands responsibility. It demands transformation. Nietzsche called it becoming, a process that burns away everything false, every illusion, every comfortable lie. That's why so many people never evolve. They want peace, but not the surrender that peace requires. They want joy, but not the discipline that joy demands. They want meaning, but not the silence that meaning grows from. They want light without giving up the warmth of the dark. We think our desires are pure. We say we want love, success, happiness. But desire is rarely honest. Plato described this beautifully. He said humans live like prisoners in a cave, staring at shadows on the wall, believing those shadows are real. The shadows are our desires, distorted, shaped by fear, ego, and habit. We think we're chasing light, but we're just chasing better shadows. We want a relationship not because we're ready to love, but because we're desperate not to be alone. We want success not because we value growth, but because we crave validation. We want happiness, but only if it doesn't ask us to let go of what we know. So we stay trapped in cycles that feel alive but aren't. Dietrich Bonhoeffer once said that the greatest danger to the human soul is not evil, but stupidity, not ignorance, but willful blindness, the refusal to question the comfortable lie. He saw it during the rise of tyranny. People preferred the safety of conformity over the courage of awareness. And today we do the same, not politically, but spiritually. We choose numbness over awakening. We scroll instead of reflect. We chase noise instead of stillness. We live on autopilot because autopilot hurts less than honesty. But Bonhoeffer's warning wasn't about politics alone. It was about the soul's quiet surrender to comfort, the slow death that comes when we choose ease over growth. In therapy, there's a concept called the comfort of misery. It means that even when people are suffering, they often don't want to let go, because their suffering gives them identity. Think about how many times you've said, "That's just how I am." No, that's how you've learned to survive. You've confused your patterns with your personality. The real you exists beneath the fear, beneath the performance, beneath the survival story. But you won't find that self by adding more. You'll find it by subtraction, by removing everything that isn't you. Every lie, every coping mechanism, every attachment that feels safe but suffocates you. At some point, something inside you breaks, but in the best way. You get tired of your own story. You get tired of waiting for peace while sabotaging it. You get tired of being the hero of a tragedy that never ends. And that exhaustion is sacred. It's not weakness, it's awakening. Because the moment you stop running, the mind starts to heal. Not through effort, but through surrender. You stop forcing meaning onto everything, and life slowly begins to reveal meaning on its own. Healing isn't glamorous, it's not candles or quotes or self-care routines. It's raw. It's standing in front of the mirror, seeing all the versions of yourself that were built from fear, and gently letting them die. It's realizing that peace isn't something you find. It's what remains when you stop feeding your chaos. At first, peace feels boring. It's quiet. It doesn't give you dopamine. It doesn't validate you. It just sits there, asking for nothing, offering everything, but stay with it. Let your nervous system adjust to safety. Let calm become familiar. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you no longer crave chaos. You no longer need the noise. You can finally just be. Freedom doesn't feel like joy at first. It feels like loss. You grieve your old self, the one who needed drama to feel alive, the one who mistook tension for meaning, the one who equated love with pain. But as Nietzsche wrote, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. He didn't mean we need endless turmoil. He meant that transformation begins in tension, the moment you realize you don't have to live by the same patterns anymore. That's when you finally stop mistaking familiarity for truth. That's when life becomes real again. You were never afraid of peace. You were afraid of the person you'd have to become to deserve it. But here's the secret. You already do. You always have. The life you want isn't waiting for you somewhere out there. It's waiting underneath, the one you've been pretending to live. All you have to do is stop mistaking survival for living. Because happiness was never something to find. It was something you had to stop running from. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to remember who you were before the world taught you to fear peace.